I really admire players who can apparently walk through a game and still control that match. Busquets is the greatest player to play football who has never broken sweat. He's never actually run. He is the greatest at walking football that we've ever seen. Great is an overused word in life, let alone in sport. But I always think in all sports, the greats have got time. Somehow they create time for themselves. You see it with a great quarterback, don't you? They just never seem to get sacked. Or if they do, it doesn't hurt. And Busquets was kind of he was almost the equivalent of a quarterback. He always seemed to have other people doing the running for him. I think Toni Kroos is very similar too. Why did Toni Kroos retire? I mean, he could carry on playing football the way that he did for another 15 years, really, because he didn't ever seem to run anywhere. He didn't have to. He made the ball talk for him. So, I think in many ways we're excited by dribblers, by pace, by athleticism. But for me, and maybe it says something about me in my time of life, because I haven't been able to run for several years now. But I really admire players who can apparently walk through a game and still control that match and the other 21 players on the field. They are the really great players.
Yeah. It is amazing their ability to feel everything as it's going to move around them before it does. And then, as you say, simply dragging the ball back one step, taking two players out of the game. It is really a privilege to watch that kind of thing.
I think the great team sports, if you break them down, we have so much analysis now, so much tactical analysis. Every guy in every bar in Kentucky is, an expert on something. Yeah. But actually, I love it when I hear a coach say something which is so basic and so obvious, but so fundamental to a sport. The ball travels faster than any of the players. I mean, just think about that. Why do footballers pass the ball? Why do players like Kroos and Busquets pass the ball so beautifully? Rodri, Manchester City have really missed. Again, not a fast player. He's strong and large, but he's not really an aggressive player. He is missed because of the control that he brings to the game. I was very fortunate enough in my sort of radio days early in my career to watch the great Liverpool team of the late 1970s and early 1980s. And people who've either seen that team or maybe watched them subsequently on YouTube or whatever. Graham Souness was very aggressive. Really quite ruthless, brutal. He would break your leg to win a football match. That if you got in the way, that was just, he had to win the football match. But somebody once said that it was like having your big brother on the field with you. And that's, again, it's a lovely analogy. I love it when in amidst all the technical speak and somebody says something which is very human, and sport is human. It's full of mistakes and errors and flaws, but just that presence, just to have somebody on the field with you. I'm sure it's the same. I don't know basketball as well as you guys will know it, but I'm sure in the NBA, there are some guys who just seem to be walking through the game, but when the ball's in their hands, all the other players on the court just stop and think, well, he's got it or she's got it. We've got to wait for them to make their next move. And I just love that sense of supremacy. That it requires a certain arrogance, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're good enough. Arrogance in the sports person is terrible if they're not good enough. But if you know you're good enough, if you know you're a little bit better than everybody else on the court or on the field, then stand upright. Play with a little bit of front, a little bit of edge. Show everybody how good you are. And we're very, very privileged to have seen. I've seen so much of Messi and Ronaldo in the flesh in the course of my career, and we've never really had a rivalry like that in my lifetime in the game. And I'm 70 years of age, and both of them had that. There were very different kinds of personality. but there was no doubt when they were on the field who they thought the best player on the field was. And they didn't have to look very far. They just needed to find a mirror.
Yeah, I think Pep Guardiola said that about, I think it was Aymeric Laporte. He said he has the arrogance that you need as a top player. And I think there is something to that. I mean, you do need to believe that you are indispensable and extraordinary, which they are.
Yeah, I think you need to be a bit better than Aymeric Laporte to have that edge.
He was a couple of years there.
I'm not saying
A couple
he's
years.
good. No, I think, I think we see it in all sports. I think even in one-to-one sports like tennis, and you certainly see it in a boxing ring. You know, again, if you're of my generation and you saw Sugar Ray fight, or Ali, to drop your guard against Frazier or Foreman, you got to know you can go to be able to dodge the one or take the punch that's coming. But when you can, that just adds that showman element to sport, which I think we all love. I mean, obviously, I don't like blood sports of any kind, and I've never been to a bullfight, so I probably should never judge. I don't like the idea of bullfighting, but I like the idea of a matador. You know, I like the idea of a matador without the animal and the gore. I like the idea of a player who plays a ball game with just a little bit of front. Yeah. I think you'll find I'm a bit better than you, but try. Yeah.